Achievement unlocked. 2 players and a podcast now loading.
Welcome back, Dreamers and Flam family. This is 2 Players and a Podcast, brought to you by GeneralAndrews and
Flibbityflam.
And we are sponsored by the 8-Bit Dojo and ESN, where we aim to be selfless, not selfish.
This is episode 15 of season 2.
My viewers, and how quarantine has changed community interaction. Yo, Flibbityflam, bro.
General.
Good, I guess good night to you.
Good night and good morning to you.
Oh my goodness. So it looks like we got a couple of crazy topics to almost pretty much back and forth intermingle, and
They do a little bit, yeah. It's crazy how we keep doing this.
Yeah, right? It's like, no, don't talk to you about it all week long.
Right? Like, don't say anything.
No,
don't say it. Hold.
Do not influence his choices here. Bring a topic and bring a topic. Let's go. And you know, it's been funny. It's a lot of times it's really been a good mix, in my opinion.
I agree. So my viewers, what about my viewers?
All right. Yes. You know, I contemplated this. I can't remember, about 3 days ago is when I typed into my notepad on my phone. I was like, this is my topic this week. All right. And I felt, you know, obviously I'm waking up right now, so I get my passion motor charged and ready to go into this topic. It's like, come on,
get it running. Get it running.
I'm telling you, I wish I was like Mickey Mouse back on Steamboat Willie, and he's just, you know, tooting and pumping that crank. So it's like, come on, yeah, I'm feeling good. Let's go. No, okay. So then I'm also, my brain's flowing back to, I remember seeing Zine had a message on Twitch referencing this feeling of my viewers. And for me, it brings us back to the beginning stages of at least when I knew you or got to start getting to know you and a bunch of other people that we started create content with, or, you know, intermingled with in the content creation realm. Some we still talk to, some we don't talk to as much. And really, it's very interesting is this concept of my viewers, which is absurd, first off.
Yes, right?
Like, when you really think about it, it's absurd.
When did we gain ownership over these people?
Thank you. It's the my part of that.
Yeah,
that's the issue versus the viewers.
Yes,
right? Because that's accurate. There are viewers at a point in time when you're on stream, and they're there and they're rooting you on. So for me, why I'm bringing this up is I think it's interesting that people do feel this ownership on so many different things that don't need ownership of. I don't know how you feel on the topic, where, you know, when you end a stream and when you say you're taking your viewers somewhere, it's more so I feel like I am responsible like a guide. You know, we're on a safari trip here, and you know, I think I know best because I've been out here a few times before. I kind of see the lay of the land. You don't really want to run into lions right now if you can help it.
Exactly.
You might think a hippo is nice and cuddly because it looks really, you know, cool, but you're gonna find out that was a terrible idea.
It was an awful mistake.
So I'm thinking, no, I'm gonna lead them to the gazelle. I'm gonna lead them to the giraffe. But again, don't get too close to giraffe. Yeah, you know, and so, you know, that's my idea as I'm going through, and I'm out there and help, you know, let alone carry my content when I go in, want to host somebody else and or raid, you know, where you force feed the viewers into a channel. That's kind of how I take this, quote unquote, my viewers, versus what I know I've dealt with other individuals and what I feel is a very
toxic.
I want to use a different word than toxic, because toxic is always used. But yeah, I mean, you're on point. You're on point with that word.
It's hard. Like, people just sometimes just get this in their head that they're like, well, they came to my stream first, so like they're my viewers now. I'm like, no, that's not really how this works. Like,
no,
sorry.
Oh, you're good. I want you to keep going. I'm just thinking back all the way to the origination of Twitch.
Yeah.
Wouldn't someone like Man versus Game, be one of those few people that has the quote unquote, like if you want to really go back to like this word of ownership because they were there first, like play on the flag, like so keep going.
Yeah. How I kind of look at it, it's like the movie Armageddon. It's like I get everybody to the oil rig, they do a good job, but as soon as we're off the oil rig, fuck off. Like do whatever you want to do. Go to your stripper joints. Go ride your motorcycles. Like I don't care. We did the job. We had a fun time. Now get out of here.
That's good. That's a good way of looking at it. Yes, the show is over.
Yeah,
so to speak. Like, all right, guys, you don't have to go home, but you don't get to stay here.
Exactly.
That's a good way of looking at it. But yeah, I just think it's something that's so important for if there's anybody out there that's listening that's a new streamer or a budding content creator, whatever it may be, where you don't own these people. If that's how you're going to view your business, I mean that's where at the end of the day you're going to lose, and you might make a bunch of money, right?
Yeah.
You might profit off of this selfish / ownership feeling of how you view your community, how you view the people that come to your stream and whatnot. But I just feel that honestly, for you to get the reward of what you're doing outside of something monetary, because you could go do something else for work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go cash in at a Fortune 500 company and make yourself a pretty dime, right? But
exactly,
isn't it what the worth of what you're doing is the actual payment? Money just helps survival. Honestly, I personally don't care about money besides that say, okay, do you have enough to survive?
Yeah.
Do you have enough to survive? Do you have enough to survive if you can't now do something that makes you money that would then therefore help you survive? Like that's the only like qualms for money that in my mind I picture where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I need money. Outside of that, man, it's the fulfillment of whatever I deem as something I want to achieve, as something I would like to do. So put it on a show. I like doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't like doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm waking up, but let me tell you, about half an hour ago, I was like, fuck you. I am not doing this. I'm going to go cry in the corner, and hopefully by the time I'm done crying, I'll have woken up from a nice nap.
It'll be good.
I'll feel refreshed.
I'll have rocked back and forth enough, and I'll be fine. I'll just be okay.
I'll be okay. I'll have to definitely wash, my sheets and my pillow covers because that was a lot of crying.
It was a lot of fluids in there.
Yeah, I'm very expressive in that manner. And so that's when I think about the whole my viewers thing, I just feel you're destined to fail.
It's setting yourself
mindset
up for failure in the long term, and
right?
I think that's where it because like I'm sorry if you're in this for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Right.
Like
right.
Sure, like the money is great, and that definitely comes later. But if you focus on a show and making it different than what's out there, or even sometimes just the same, but like if you make it fun, a fun environment for people to show up to every day, and you make it a part of their daily routine, you will be successful.
Yeah, I mean, you could be doing the same thing, give or take whatever the same thing actually means, right? For your content as someone else per se, but maybe it's at a different time of day, maybe it's in a different language, maybe it is there's just something else that is just one thing different about it, but it's you're meeting a demand that is there by doing that, not wanting to hold on to these people as if they don't have their right to do what they want to do with their time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, like guilting your community or viewers into something else versus my standpoint is that whatever I'm giving you is of greater value than what you're giving me. Right now, does that mean it costs me more? Like, well, you're just going to lose out on a bunch of money if it keeps, you keep spending more and they're spending less. No, that's not perceived value is not based off of the actual monetary value of it.
Yeah.
Why is a comic book being sold for, $150,000? It's not actually worth $150,000. Like, paper is not, worth $150,000 for like what, 25 sheets or whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, it's not a ream.
It's
even
not
like
a whole ream. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, so with that being said, it's just like, how do they keep on pinning themselves in this corner of value versus what your cost for doing it is? Because, like, for example, if I'm working with someone, I feel a lot of times that I'm not giving them enough, but to them, what I'm offering towards said project, they're like, wow, I'm so glad that you were doing that and whatnot. And I'm thinking what they're doing is like, whoa, no, what you did for this was like really cool. And so, like, bringing both of those sides of the coin together,
good flow. Yeah.
it's like, wow, this is really cool thing. Like, I feel so much better about my stuff I did. I feel like I didn't work that hard. They claim that they feel like they didn't work that hard, and bam, here's this nice little fun thing. For example, like when we've done the dream races.
Yeah. Those were fun, but they were also extremely easy to put together.
They could have gone, completely terrible. It could have been super stressful, right? But it was able to flow because of the dynamics and what people are good at when it came into that. Yourself to be able to announce any game with any brevity because you are so versed in so many different speedrun, not just from playing speedruns yourself, but also just consumption because you'd consumed
consumption. Well, watching a lot too. Like I watch a lot of them as well, which helps.
There's times where you'll be like, oh yeah, blah blah. I was like, wait, but those speedruns are like hours long, and you've been watching how many of those? Like, oh,
every other day for the last 6 months. Oh,
yeah.
But as concerned to the project stuff like that, like I think that a lot of people don't understand. Like they don't value their time,
right?
And I feel like that is super undervaluing yourself and what you're bringing because I've always said I would rather have somebody's time than their money because I feel like that is way more valuable in the long run than anything else.
Absolutely. Just like if I was working, I valued working 30 hours for, let's say, let's just use the number like $1,000, right? Instead of $1,200 for working 40 hours.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm making a little bit more money by working the additional 10 hours, but the extra additional rate that was added onto that is at a lower pay scale, right? And it's like, okay, is the couple $100 worth another 10 hours of work? No.
Yeah, no.
Right. And that's the value. That's the perceived, okay, how much is this worth? Just like when it comes to my work now too, it's like I have 1,000 ideas. I don't have enough time to get 1,000 ideas done a week. It's just, and then it starts to become self-consuming because it's like, oh my goodness, all these things to do. And so
and then it's hard to prioritize them. And then you start feeling overwhelmed. And then when you're overwhelmed, you're like, well, I'm just not going to do anything now. And now your 1,000 ideas have turned into 0 ideas.
And so like that's trying to make sure to find where I value somebody else's time, pay them for that. For them, they feel they're getting a great value for what they can get done in that amount of time, right? And it's like, oh, that's cool. And so when you come back to all these different ways to make yourself successful and not shoot yourself in the foot, right? Such as how you treat your community, like people.
Yeah.
Right. Like honestly, like you're having interactions to have interactions with them. And you can still put on a show, right?
Yeah.
Like you can do both. I always find it very odd when there is a lack of breaking the fourth wall on a piece of content that isn't even a show.
Yeah.
Right. Like let's say someone was doing a bunch of voice acting for an entire JRPG, and there's like maybe 4 or 5 different people, and so they're gonna do all these different voices, right? And it just keeps going. The content, someone's playing the game, the voice actors aren't even playing the game, right? It's going. Awesome, so cool. And so they don't break from that only because there's all this immersion, right? That's happening because
they're trying to keep the immersion up. Exactly.
Right. And so that would make sense where you're not interacting with the crowd or whatever, but then why wouldn't you interact with the crowd when you're just playing a game like Destiny 2 or you're playing a game like Minecraft? I can understand if people were trolling you, you would not interact with those troll comments, but these different things of how people want to have this ownership of individuals, but they don't even want to talk to them.
They don't even want, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so to me, that's a big difference in, how someone really creates passionate content versus someone who's trying to create content for gain. And so my viewers is such a very triggering terminology to me, because unless I know you well enough to know the instance at which you're using, I'm like, oh no, this person doesn't, know how to view their community, their business and their brand, and how to correctly separate them all.
Yeah, they're seeing numbers, not people.
Correct. And so by seeing people, it seems that quarantine has changed community interaction. How does that happen?
God, I've just, hold on, I gotta cool down from that hot segue.
Sometimes out here on the road to stardom, you just don't know how fast it'll get.
You just don't know. Episode 8, the segue.
The segue. Just driving down the highway,
just zooming around.
The window, just loving life. Which sounds like your community might be loving life. Talk to me here. What's going on with this quarantine? We're all stuck in it.
We're all stuck in it, right? God, we're all stuck in it. And we've been stuck in it for a long time. And we're going to be stuck in it for even longer now.
Yeah.
But at this point. So I've seen, just in my community, and a lot of others too, like a drastic shift in not only interactivity, but stuff that you do outside of stream.
Okay.
With your
like
community.
I like it. I definitely agree on that.
Like I definitely hang out in Discord a lot more.
Yes.
And voice chats and stuff like that. More communicative with like that in those ways. And then what you've done too is like with your anime nights as well, which you've always done, but like now they're a lot more popular because everybody seems to be at home.
Well, and I think it's a great thing that you brought that up. I think there's two factors, right? So there is the factor that everyone was home, so the schedules changed a lot, right? Let alone even my own schedule. Mm-hmm. So I feel that the time of the evening was better for the majority of my crowd, right? Versus a lot of people would be going to sleep-ish, give or take, or relaxing in bed at that point where they might not be as interactive if they tuned in on an anime night, right? 3-hour difference is, a good amount of time.
It is.
And so the other factor was that because of quarantine, services like Discord decided to expand.
Yeah. That was huge.
Rap.it fell apart. So my anime night was my anime night was, on hiatus for a little bit because there wasn't anything that could be provided to anybody. So that transfer of the change forced upon us by quarantine worked out in the Discord action, because now people already had a common place to be. They didn't have to go to a news site maybe and be like, oh no, I don't know. And where it's like, oh, cool, it's right here, and he's doing the message right here. I don't have to click through anything. I can just show up right here.
Yeah.
That ease also, I think, added to it. But what else do you think, as far as your interaction with your community, has quarantine changed? I feel like, I feel that you've always, you've been around, but if you feel there's more of an interaction with your community, does that mean more one-on-ones? Is that more group oriented?
Definitely more one-on-ones.
Oh, cool.
Which I've been enjoying, and those are good, because like I said earlier, it was like I'd stop streaming and it'd be like, all right, fuck off, get out of here.
Like, yeah, right, you're done.
Flip's got to go do things quota. Like
you met your person quota for the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Time to hide in your little cave.
I'm extremely introverted. So.
Right. Exactly. Which is, that's a hard thing for people to pick up on, in the sense of being a streamer or performer.
Streamer, showman, host. Yeah.
You could still be a performer, or whatever you want to call it, content creator, an actor, an actress that wants to perform. But that doesn't mean that you can handle more than your performance after that if you're introverted, for example.
Exactly. Like I would tell people all the time, it's like I'm an extrovert by trade and an introvert by nature.
Right. Right. And I'm you know, for me, I'm extroverted until I hit my wall. Once I hit my wall, then I'm like, I don't know where the energy went. I'm good. Or let's say, for example, like early when I first woke up, it was like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
No, not even the flib. Forget that. But then I, woke up a little more. Bam. Okay, good. Because now I'm in my, extroverted self. But yeah, so that's something that people don't really realize. And it's like, why didn't you get back to me, man? Why didn't you get back to me? And though I feel like I've not that I want to say I experienced that a little bit less recently because, like you said, community interaction is changing. To me, I want to say it's changed more for the positive.
I agree.
So,
yes,
but I've also seen more total interaction for myself. So I still get some of the, unfortunate ones where it's like, where's time for me? And I'm like, wait, what? Where'd this come from?
Huh?
This is the first message you've sent me ever.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Where's my, like, hold on. I don't know if anybody else out there has experienced that, but you have someone who messaged you like you've been long lost friends for forever. And it's like, dude, how'd you forget about me? It's like, because you never even said anything to me.
You never said
Hello?
anything.
Have I made you mad? What?
How did I piss you off? Who peed in your Cheerios?
Yeah, dude. I've had some of those interactions. Like, well, I don't know why you think that, but
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. And then like I've been sharing a lot more of the background stuff that happens like outside of stream in private calls and stuff like that. Because I think I was in a call with somebody the other day, and they were adding me to play a game on like my day off. I think it was Wednesday, yeah. And they're like, oh, because they told me it was like, oh, we were gonna do it on Sunday. I'm like, okay, Sunday works. And they're like, no, we're doing it on Wednesday, ha ha. And I woke up and I just lit them up.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, motherfucker, this is my day off.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, hello.
And then I talk to them too, and I'm just like you don't understand. Like I wake up and I have 100 messages or so to go through and respond to and look at, like damn near every day now.
Yes.
And it's like when I get that, I'm just like, it instantly just puts me in a bad mood. And I just told them, I'm like, hey, wait for the green light to come on, then message me.
Yeah. Understandable. I mean, my thing is anyone can message me whenever, because honestly, it doesn't really matter in that sense. It's for my way of prioritizing things that I had to remember. But like every time I tell you that notifications, it feels like it's a real life, inbox of just papers just stacking up.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it in my head.
You get one sent out, now 4 more are there. You get one sent out, 4 more there. It's like, oh my god, I can't keep up with it all. How do I do this thing? And at the same time, it feels like it's like, I shouldn't complain. Like, am I doing enough? Am I interacting enough? Right? It's like you deal with these back and forths too, where it's like, okay, can I get better at this? How do I get more efficient? How do I get more fingers?
Exactly.
How do I type 10 times faster? Because that would help a lot.
Oh, that really would. I need an extra set of hands. That's really it.
Or even like an extra head, an extension that can just I can sleep still. That goes ahead and does get the work done.
like if I could just put my brain in another body and switch it out for another brain.
Yeah, the body relax. The body needs the downtime. The brain just needs a power nap.
It does, yeah.
The body having downtime, all right? So that's all I'm asking. Like, I don't see why any of you out there that are listening right now just don't understand that it's that simple.
Yeah,
you just need to relax, right?
Just gotta relax. Just relax.
Okay, okay. Super tense. Just relax.
Just calm down. Huh? What? No. I refuse.
But yeah, like I know for me, I've seen a change in community interaction where it seems like it's been a while since the feeling of like literal community growth is happening again. And that's something I've been noticing recently. Isn't because of the anime nights for us. It's more than that, because not everyone shows up to that, right? There's a lot of people who do, right? And I'm happy, and it's a lot of fun and whatnot. But it's not everybody, you know. Obviously different people have different tastes as well. Not everyone, just because I happen to be in love with anime and they like my content, means they love anime.
Correct.
Right. But just for me, I'm always so excited when community members are actually talking to community members, not just me, right?
Yeah. Oh God, I love that.
And so when I go to certain streams, I can't stay in a channel for too long usually if you can't at all like interact with the community.
Yeah.
Like if you talking makes it feel like you walked into a room, you said hello, and like everyone else just got louder and like drowned you out, and now, you know, you're not there. It's like, okay, I'll watch this content for a little bit longer, but I'm probably going to leave. You know, versus like I've seen, you know, still large channels and active channels where the community might, you know, the streamer might not be able to pick up with you because there's so much talking going on, but community members are able to keep up with you and talk to you because they, you know, they're in the chat typing themselves, right?
Exactly.
Real quick. Those kind of things. That's what I really enjoy when I'm a viewer myself. So I try to picture that too, or like I'm so happy that others are interacting with others while I'm streaming, for example, like welcoming them back, you know, maybe wishing them happy birthday if it was their birthday, or congratulations if there was something, you know, a promotion or whatever they were able to accomplish. Those kind of things. That's where it's like, dude, this is sweet, because this game is kicking my ass right now, and I'm pissed at this freaking game. But you know what, guys? You guys are being sweet to each other, and that's awesome.
Cute chat.
Yeah, you know, because like honestly, there's times, because I like to challenge myself. I mean, shoot, most of my content is speedrunning. You know how that works. And yet when I'm not speedrunning, I'm still usually trying to do something and push myself on it. And so it's like, oh, cool. You know, you guys are being sweet and everything. This kind of balances out me wanting to be stressed out about this game just trolling the hell out of me right now. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being good people.
You know, and it's nice.
It is. It's super nice. I love it when chat starts talking with each other. Like it's super fantastic. Oh, absolutely. Because I've been going through like a regrowth phase, trying to rebuild my community over the last almost 2 years now, I think. And it's finally gotten to a point where I'm like, I like you guys, and you guys are all pretty great to each other too.
Right. Well, because that's some of the things when you start to grow. Because there was that phase, of course, you know, your Zelda Ocarina of Time runs where, you know, it was massive growth, and it's because you were really good at the game. You know what I mean? And yet, that doesn't necessarily mean that community members were coming in, that they were there.
No, they weren't there for
themselves.
Me. They were there for the game. They were there to see it played, and
we know that's part of it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But you want to still be creating a community, and sometimes certain spurts of growth kind of shoot past that, and you sometimes you miss those important building blocks for sustainability. Because like I've seen some people who've had massive success, and then they're like gone.
Yeah,
and you're like, how did that happen though? Like,
exactly.
What? You know, then people start saying view bind and all this other kind of stuff, and it's like, no, I don't really think that's the case there, because that's just why would you be spending that much money to do that and then quote unquote be successful while doing that, and then stop doing that for some reason, and now you're not success? Like, who would do that?
Yeah,
right. Like I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me. You know, so I was like, I don't think it was you, buddy, but like something happened. I don't know but
I'm in the lead on this race. Here, let me just shoot myself in the knee.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I don't think that's the case. And so with that not being the case, it's like, so what is it? Well, that means they were there for the game more than likely, or the sponsor or the merch or whatever might have been a part of that,
the giveaways
shtick.
Or whatever.
Yeah, right. Whatever it might have been that created this false sense of community, where it's so much more important to have a loyal community, in my opinion, than it is to have just massive upsurges just to see it come plummeting back down.
Yeah, plus that'll wear on your mental health too.
Oh man, it's interesting that you say that, because I've seen it with different individuals who now doubt themselves because they took the risk to change their content because they didn't like where the community was growing based off of a similar element. They might play a game that has a very large lurk base because they get bonus points for a game, let's say, by lurking, right? And with that, the streamer might feel like, okay, well, we got all these viewers, people are coming in and questioning why, is nobody talking and da. And it's like, it's up to you. Like, okay, well, you're playing said game, so it's going to be this. You got to be comfortable with that and not feel like you have to explain yourself to everybody who comes in.
Right.
Like, I need to justify to you why I'm streaming on here and why there's 100 people watching, but only 15 people typing. Right? Like, I need to explain myself to you. No, you don't.
You really don't.
If that person wants to doubt you, that they think that this isn't a real stream or whatever, then let them
doubt. My favorite part with those types of people is to just put them straight on the spot and be like, "Hey, we got some one-on-one time here now." It's like,
that's right.
Come on, let's talk. Baby. And then they usually just they're gone.
They're gone. Because that now the fun is gone with that type of trollness. And yet again, but some people that was more than enough of a negative effect on their mindset for their stuff, and now they doubt their ability to go back to creating a community because their viewership is low. But it's like, no, you were doing the things that you wanted to do to create a better brand, a more solid representation of yourself and your community. So you're gonna drop in viewership but go up in engagement.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge.
Why are you now hating yourself? You made a choice, and it's doing what you wanted to do. It's not obviously creating the growth of the other instantaneously. It doesn't work like that, because just because you guys are having a great time doesn't mean anybody else sees that right away.
Yeah.
Once they do, they're going to be like, dang, I like what I see. I think I want to hang around. But now you start hating yourself because it didn't do that rapid, quick. Now it's like, no one's here, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's having an unrealistic expectation of what growth is on
this
platform, or in general.
And then how viewers' habits change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Viewing habits change because of things like quarantine. Maybe there's more viewing. Maybe there's, they spread themselves out differently than they used to before. Right, so their sleep patterns are different now. They're sleeping when you're streaming versus, being awake because they would be awake for work.
Yeah,
they're not doing that. And at the same time, they're not your viewers. So you have to know that, like, you're creating something because you want to create something. You will continue to get better at it if you try to curtail your craft, curtail whatever angle it is or narrative that you're trying to make your brand and your content represent.
Exactly. Just
let me tell you,
you don't own people, but you can create a really cool spot for them to hang out
in. And that's, to me, pretty cool when, like, you have some people that'll pop on and they're just so happy to be able to chill that night there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty cool, man. That to me is just really, really cool stuff. And I feel that energy when I pop in to, the family. You know what I mean? I like to think that the Dreamer community has, felt the same way as well about how things have gone. And hopefully a bunch of you out there have the same thing going with your communities, or that's what you're striving to do, is create that type of atmosphere, because I think that's going to be the most rewarding, instead of always just, trying to chase the heroin dragon. And why don't I have 10,000 viewers, like Ninja, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. This only doesn't work if you give up.
Right. Oh man, that was good.
That was good.
You know what, Dreamers?
Family.
Thank you so much for listening in again to another episode of Two Players in a Podcast.
We'll see y'all. Bye.